Can Triple H cook up something big for WrestleMania 41? The brand new poster was just revealed with a number of superstars on the cover. We're gonna go through every single person that is shown off here and decide what matchup they could be in at WrestleMania. Number one, aesthetically, I just like the WrestleMania logo they are using. And we might make some educated guesses about who's on night one, night two. By the way, my name is Matt. Welcome to Assemble. Let's go. And let's first talk about... I got Rey Mysterio on there. All right, Rey made the cover. Okay, Rey, the LWO, they're kind of just floating around. He's in tag team matches now with Dragon Lee. I see one of two things for Rey. Either he is going to be in a match that I want him to be in, which is going to be a final match against Dom Mysterio, hair versus mask match. I still think it's worth doing, and I think they can get there. They got a lot of time right now. They're on the same brand. That's my number one pick for Rey. And it is a story, they keep intertwining Rey and Dom back and forth here and there, and it's a lot of fun. And I think for WrestleMania season, otherwise, I don't see what Dom is doing at WrestleMania. Now, if it's not gonna be Dom, I think Rey would probably stay in the tag division with Dragon Lee and the LWO, and then I could see Rey getting into a tag team title match with Dragon Lee, going on in like a multi-man match, like they did at last year's WrestleMania where they did the ladder match. I think they could do something similar like that, like do like a 4-way tornado tag. All right, next person here we got on this little poster here. Let's look at the man you can't even see on the poster, John Cena. Okay, John is, what do you guys think for John Cena? I have two names that they can do. One I really want, one I think they are likely to do, and I don't want it to happen. The one I want to happen is John Cena versus Randy Orton. And Randy Orton didn't even make the cover of this thing. What the hell? John versus Randy, I think, is to close that chapter, that moment. John Cena is going to be on his retirement tour. He's going to show up on like the debut episode of Netflix. We know he's going to be coming back, and he's got a number of matches even beyond WrestleMania. But it'd be so poetic. It would be so perfectly matched up to have Randy versus John, especially if Randy starts to go heel right now in this whole Cody Kevin Owens storyline where he just gets bitter and disgruntled. Somehow, some way he finds his way to cross paths with John, and they end up going one more time at WrestleMania. Doesn't have to be for any title. Wish it'd be fun if it was for like the world title, gotta be honest. But that is my first pick. John, Randy Orton, one last time. And it's a very nice WrestleMania match, and it's huge. It's a big blockbuster match of two legends. The other match that I said that I don't want to happen, I could see them doing, we could get lucky and maybe it's at SummerSlam. There's some other big PLE. John Cena versus Logan Paul. Logan Paul is on this poster, so I'm gonna combine Logan Paul. We'll carry on his conversation in a second. Logan Paul versus John Cena. It is a match that WWE has talked about, Logan Paul has talked about, they've been on the podcast together. I think that John versus Logan Paul is inevitable. It is WrestleMania worthy in terms of big blockbuster match. I think it has a lot in there. However, I don't like it because it would be John Cena's last WrestleMania, and doing it against Logan Paul isn't a lot of fun because that's not what I want to see. Don't want to see Logan Paul go over. I want John Cena in that scenario to stand tall, whether it's at a Rumble, SummerSlam, whatever it is. Even if it is at WrestleMania, John Cena would go over on Logan Paul. But I can see them doing that match to say that it's just a giant, big money match for at least for the company. But it doesn't help anybody. That's the thing. Logan Paul is, like, I'm kind of done with him, to be honest. I don't know about you. I'm done with him in WWE. I don't think his name carries as much anymore. Yes, good talent in the ring, great at doing heel promos. He checks all the boxes and it's impressive, but I don't feel like it helps anybody if there's a John Cena Logan Paul program at Mania. Now, I don't know who else Logan Paul could face. What I could see them doing at WrestleMania though is Logan Paul and Jake Paul in a tag team match going up against whoever is the faces, but they would have to go away. They'd have to probably go over in that case. But I think they've teased this like a couple of years ago with Jake Paul getting kind of involved in Logan's matches. And I think with Jake Paul's fight against Tyson, that's a very big high profile thing happening on Netflix. You got WWE with the Netflix deal. I think that from a marketing side, they could try to bring in Jake Paul and do something there where you get the brothers in a tag team program. Maybe going against like Street Profits or something. All right, next on this little poster here, Seth Rollins. Right now, I gotta believe that Seth is going to be going up against CM Punk. CM Punk, Drew McIntyre, blended all together somehow, some way. I think that's going to be what's happening at WrestleMania. Night one WrestleMania main event could be Punk versus Seth if they do it right. Seth could get the world title off of Gunther at some point, and then that would set off Punk versus Seth to go to Mania. or they're also going to include Drew McIntyre in there since he's been screwed out of his title so many times, and you get the three of them in a three-way match. So Seth, I think, is going to be wrapped up with Punk, which then you got CM Punk on the poster, one of Matt's personal favorites. And I do believe that that is the future for CM Punk at WrestleMania. I don't think he walks in as champion. I think they want to be able to get that big match, that big moment for Punk done and checked off the list. One thing that CM Punk has talked about since coming back to WWE was main eventing WrestleMania, and he missed last year. So this is going to be very critical, very important to keep him healthy, number one, and then number two, get him into that high profile spot. So I think that CM Punk, personally, he's going to be in the world title match, and it's probably going to be main eventing night one, unless there's just a lot of like Bloodline Cody stuff, which we'll talk about. It's getting wild over there. Also on the poster, you got Gunther. Gunther is in an interesting spot. I'm gonna go in and reach out that I think that he's gonna have one of two opponents. He is either going to have a match against Goldberg. You got big old Bill Goldberg. By the way, personal hope for that. Number one, I don't want that match. But if I am going to get that match, what I want to see happen is Bill Goldberg versus Gunther. Gunther goes over, and Bret Hart is special guest referee. You make all the worlds collide. Now, I think that match, if they are gonna do it, and WWE is teasing it, and Goldberg's teasing it, could happen soon. It could happen at Crown Jewel. It could happen at Survivor Series, Royal Rumble. It may not be at WrestleMania, but I could see them maybe trying to do a series with Goldberg, give him that final retirement match, give him that final moment at WrestleMania, even though he may lose. But I want Bret Hart in there as special guest referee, just so he can get his comeuppance on Bill Goldberg. Now, if it's not going to be Bill Goldberg, I'm going to say that it's going to be Brock Lesnar. I think WWE has teased the Beast on Raw. I don't think that's a coincidence. I think they're going to wait for the time to be right to bring Brock Lesnar back, whether we like it or not. And I think they will try to get that match done. Tease it with Brock potentially showing up at the Royal Rumble, eliminating Gunther, something like that. And then you get Gunther versus Brock at Mania. No title on the line. Gunther would have to drop the title. Now, I'm gonna go to the other side of the picture over here. You got Jade and Bianca. They're still gonna be going after those tag titles, aren't they? Like, it's just never gonna end. Now, here's what could happen. Jade and Bianca could either be going once again in a tag team match. They did this last year where they had the 3-on-3 match and they had Naomi involved. Do I want to see these two going into another tag team program at Mania and like a multi-woman match like they have done before? Not really. I think that it's going to run its course, and I think it's going to run its course sooner rather than later. I like that they are putting some focus on the women's tag division, more so than they've done in the past, that's for sure. And they keep putting, Kabuki Warriors, Damage Control up against them. You got Unholy Union in there. You got some teams that they keep throwing at Bianca and Jade, but I think they need to do the split. I'm going to say that at Mania 41, it's going to be Jade versus Bianca, and Jade is going to turn heel and take down Bianca Belair at WrestleMania. I think they can start that story sometime around the Rumble, maybe as early as Survivor Series, and get the break in the split to happen. You gotta get Jade in a singles program and get her to stand on her own. Since coming into WWE, she's just been in the tag, so you gotta break her off at some point and try to get her to shine as a single star. And the match inevitably is going to be against Bianca. So I think they pull the trigger and these two are gonna go face to face. Then you got hiding back there in the background, you got Nia Jax. Nia, I honestly can see Nia Jax holding on to that women's championship until WrestleMania. If they book her right and keep her as a dominant champion, you could hold that belt till Mania. They might drop it if you have Tiffany Stratton cash in, but they could even have it where Stratton's gonna get the belt at some point, gets back to Nia Jax. Nia, I think, could be in a multi-woman match. You do have Naomi, Bayley, Tiffany Stratton, Nia Jax, all wrapped up in this current program right now. And I think that that is going to likely continue where you're gonna get some combination of all of them fighting each other. And again, Tiffany Stratton might get the women's title before that due to her cash in, or it's gonna be at WrestleMania and making Tiffany Stratton get the big wins. So that's what I would do, honestly, is get Tiffany the big WrestleMania moment of her breakout. She had a big breakout with winning Money in the Bank. Bayley doesn't need the title. Naomi, I'd love to see have the title, but I don't think it's going to happen. They could do the opportunistic cash in at WrestleMania, but I think you need Tiffany Stratton to just be in the WrestleMania main event match for the women's championship, and she's either announced the cash in or do the Seth Rollins thing where she's going to turn it into a multi-woman match and she ends up winning the title. All right, let's scan around here for a second here. Rhea Ripley. Rhea versus Liv, and they have Liv on the poster. She's hiding behind the man you cannot see. I think that Rhea is going to have one-on-one match with Liv Morgan for the World Heavyweight Championship. I think they are going to try to stretch this thing out. I do think in my head, I think they're going to get the one-on-one match with Rhea and Raquel. See, for me, I got a video plan on Judgment Day because I'm not feeling it anymore. I feel like it's getting really long. I feel like it's just like we got to wrap this thing up, or they got to find a new wrinkle in here to make it more exciting. But having said that, I do think it's going to be Liv versus Rhea, world title, Mania. Possibly that you're just going to have Rhea either win the Women's Royal Rumble, so she solidifies her shot, or she's going to win the Elimination Chamber to then get her Mania shot. Because maybe Royal Rumble, Rhea gets screwed. It seems like it's a foregone conclusion. Maybe Rhea gets screwed out of the Rumble, like Dom slides in and eliminates her, costing her chance. So then she's got to fight again and go through the chamber and then get that shot to go to WrestleMania against Liv. That's what it's going to boil down to with the story, with Rhea Ripley being triumphant at WrestleMania. And they've done a great job, I feel, with Liv Morgan as a character. And on the road to WrestleMania, you got Crown Jewel, so Liv is dealing with Nia Jax. Then you're going to Survivor Series. I can see between Survivor Series, Rumble, and Saturday night's main event, and they're starting to talk and tease this a little bit, that you're going to get an intergender match. And I think you are going to get that before WrestleMania, and you're going to get Dom versus Rhea, and you're going to get that to kind of end that chapter of the feud. And then you move to Mania and Rhea wins the world title. Oh, to back up too for a second, Nia Jax, I just thought of this. Nia Jax could have a match against Charlotte Flair, or Charlotte's going to return and get into that women's world title scene. All right, who else is on this poster that we got to talk about? There's like a couple of guys left. Jey Uso. Jey frickin' Uso. Okay, Jey Uso. Jey and Braun Breaker? Do you want to do that one more time at Mania? Jey gets the Intercontinental title back? You could do that. I don't know if Jey Uso is going to be wrapped in the Bloodline story all the way to WrestleMania. Is it going to be a short-term thing? Is he going to get drafted to SmackDown? See, Bloodline's getting interesting again. It's not just all just Solo walking around, just shouting nonsense words all the time. But Solo's getting funny when you say he's got tickets on Raw. That was good. I like Solo right now. But Jey Uso, it's going to have that moment, that reunion with Jimmy. Do you have Jimmy and Jey go for the tag titles? They do a reunion and Jimmy and Jey go for the tag team titles against the Bloodline. I don't find that terribly exciting. They'd have to really build it up. Personally, what's more exciting to me, if you're gonna have Jey stay involved in the Bloodline, I think you have Jimmy at his side, in his corner. Jey goes one-on-one against Jacob Fatu. And I think you do Jacob Fatu versus Jey at WrestleMania. If that story is all gonna stay intertwined and we're already seeing Bloodline Solo interfere on Jey's stuff on Raw and Jey's going over to SmackDown, they're gonna keep that going all the way to Mania. Fatu at Mania is what I want to see in some capacity. If not, they do the Bloodline tag team match. You know, the Usos win the tag titles once again. Nice big happy moment, but then I don't see them holding on to the tag titles forever either. And I like Jey Uso, I want him to be a single star. And yes, I have left the two gentlemen at front and center. Tribal Chief, Roman Reigns, put your ones up for the real Tribal Chief. And then you got Cody Rhodes. These two could be on the same path, doing the same thing together in the main event, night 2 of WrestleMania, or they are going to be separate and doing something a little different. So one of the predictions you could have here, one of the matchups that we all know, is Roman Reigns versus The Rock. The Rock is inevitably, I don't care what reports say, The Rock is going to be at Mania 41, and in some capacity, he's going to be in a match. He's going to be involved in the main event. The money match, the biggest money match that you could do, is going to be Rock Roman one-on-one, where on the road to WrestleMania, Roman Reigns and the old Bloodline all reunite, they get back together, and they start to dismantle and take down Solo and the original Bloodline, only for The Rock to appear once again and show that he is truly in charge of this new Bloodline and these mercenaries, and starts beating down Roman Reigns, making Roman an even bigger babyface than he is right now. Final boss comes back, you get cool segments, and you get that one-on-one Rock Roman with no other shenanigans involved in terms of like politics and stuff. So you could get that straight up. Or the other path, you could do Rock and Cody. And I'd love to see that because the chemistry and the storyline they told between Cody and Rock specifically in last year's Mania and the lead up to that, I really liked it. And I want to see them do that again, which could... you're gonna put the title on The Rock? Kind of fun, wouldn't it? Just for a moment. Like come on, you want to see it, right? You just want to see what that looks like. But then you got The Rock holding the belt, and then is he gonna go to like SummerSlam and fight Roman? No, he's not gonna drop the belt. I don't know what they would do in that. It would be wild, but you could do Rock and Cody one-on-one Roman. See, like, and then if you do Rock and Cody one-on-one, then for me, you do Jacob Fatu versus Roman Reigns, and you break out Jacob Fatu as a megastar after that, because they are building him, and I think he's going to be a corner and a foundational piece in all of this. Or I think option 3 is what's been rumored out there already, but it's going to be a triple threat: Rock, Cody, Roman for the WWE Championship. And you do a 3-way because I think it protects The Rock a lot so that he doesn't have to do all the heavy lifting. 3-way, you know, you can knock Rock out to the floor and he's gone for 5-10 minutes, and Cody and Roman do their thing. Don't know who wins, don't know how that ends. And alternatively, if you do have Rock and Roman going one-on-one, for Cody, personally, I would like to see Cody versus Randy Orton one-on-one for the championship, and Randy beats him as a big old nasty heel, and then that sets off their story to keep going till like SummerSlam. But based on the people that we have right here, what are your picks for WrestleMania, guys? Hit the subscribe button if you enjoy videos like this, and I'll see you on the next one.